Hello everybody, welcome to another Train Sim World 4 route suggestion. Today we are having a look at the Zurich to Chur railway. I mean, it's not one railway, it's three, but we'll get into that later. We're looking at the railway from Chur to Zurich. This was suggested by Spicy Pepper Sauce, who I think suggested one previously, but I was reading through my submit ideas section on my Discord server, which you can join and suggest your idea. And it caught my eye because I like Swiss routes, and I like mountains, and I like snow, and I like Stadler, and this has all three. So we're going to have a look at this. So the route overview, it's 120 kilometers long, which that's getting up there with sort of the longer routes, especially for the number of stations and the sort of scenery density. There's a 30, not 100 stations, 35 stations, maximum speed of 160, although that is sort of limited to, I think there's a bit into Zurich that's 160 and a little bit down here that's 160. Most of it sort of along this section is 140, and then along here is sort of 100 and 125, and it's not super quick, but it's not super slow. And there's three lines from Zurich to Zeigelbrücke, I think, is the Lake Zurich left bank line, because there is Lake Zurich over here. From Zeigelbrücke to Sargans, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, I'm almost certainly not, and I apologise, is the Zeigelbrücke to Sargans railway line, and from Sargans to Chur is the Chur to this railway line. So from Chur to Sargans, and then it sort of continues up towards the border with Austria and Germany, and then we've got this line which sort of then goes that way and this way. There's a big junction at Zeigelbrücke, and then into Zurich, and there's this sort of U-turn thing into the main station, because the main station faces northwest. Rolling stock. This one was quite hard to narrow down. I'm not an expert at Swiss railway fleets. I am not an expert in Swiss service patterns. I'm going to make that very clear. I know almost nothing about this, and off some very surface level research, these seems to be the best fits. The IC 2000 push-pull with the RE60. The RE60 is this locomotive, and the sort of IC 2000 is the type of intercity train. Runs intercity services with the sort of European standard coaches, which we already have in Deutsche Bahn livery. They require a little bit of modification, but the shell is there. But there is a cab car on the back that would need building from the ground up. As well, we can have a flirt. We've already got flirts, Swiss flirts, so we could have them in SBB livery to sort of populate bits of the line, especially Zurich, and in private operator liveries, because there are a few private operators or sort of non-federal operators scattered around the line, but most of them use flirts, particularly around Zeigelbrücke and Chur. And there's also the Stadler Kiss, which are somewhat like the flirts but double-decker, and they run SBB regional express services on various parts of the line, and also could be used to populate certain elements. And also all of these, well, I think the Kiss and possibly the IC2000 could layer onto Lucerne to Zersee as well. So yeah, I mean, there's probably some more optimized combinations that you could make up with this kind of stuff, but whatever. They're all fully capable of hitting line speed, and the IC2000s can hit 200 kilometers an hour when the track permits. Timetable. So the Swiss timetable, it's no secret that it is absolutely phenomenal. Nationwide timetable planning, clock face, all this kind of stuff. and then what is it called, like a symmetry minute and all that. So it means that all of the lines have at least one train per hour, and all of the, like, every single line in the country has at least one train per hour, which is phenomenal. So the main express from Zurich to Köln non-stop is the IC3. That runs once every hour. There is another regional express train, I think, that also runs once per hour between Zurich and Chur. And there are plenty of other smaller S-Bahn services, like the one that you're looking at now, that run once every hour, half hourly. I think there's one out of Chur that uses Flirts as well, that runs a train every hour. So the timetable could be quite large. There's also a fair few freight trains, which I'm not proposing we have any freight locomotives with this pack, but you could sort of botch them in with a Vectron, or does the 185, one of the 185 variants have Swiss compatibility, I think, or could, with a little bit of work. So there's the potential for freight, because there's relatively heavy freight coming from France and Italy through to Austria and Germany on parts of this line. And I thought I'd finish off with some pictures, because one of the big things about this line that was so attractive to me, and also Spicy Pepper Sauce, was the scenery. We've seen on Bernina Line that the actual terrain can get pretty good with LiDAR. Certainly an improvement over some routes in particular. And I thought this route would look just spectacular with LiDAR. So I threw some pictures together just so you could see what I mean. I mean, like, I would die to have a commute like that. Again, this is Mels railway station with a cliff on the side of it. Most of the line, well, sort of half the line, runs through a very steep valley. Untertürzen, interesting name. Again, we've got Rocky Mountains, or an Alp, as Jeremy Clarkson would say, rising straight up off the station. This is Zurich Hauptbahnhof, the relatively large station. I was surprised at how small, or how sort of underwhelming, I guess, the platform canopies are. But, you know, what can you do, eh? The station hall is very grand. And this is a very low-res image of Chur Hauptbahnhof, which of course we already have, but with some pretty awful distant scenery. That's an RHB train, and the platform is blah, 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 of course, but over here there's a S... Oh no, that's a... I think that's a Rhaetian railway train as well. The platforms over here are for standard gauge SBB trains. Chur Hauptbahnhof is a very interesting station because it's a through station for the Rhaetian railway, and then there's of course the spur up to Arosa, which we have. That's on meter gauge, narrow gauge, and then it's the terminus of standard gauge passenger. But then the standard gauge line extends a little bit further out to a freight depot just outside the station. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see this, of course, we will never see this. It's ever so slightly too long and just way out of scope for Dovetail or Rivet or anyone else. But we can dream. Maybe we'll see parts of this route. Perhaps not Chur, maybe from Sargans to Zurich, or Sargans to Zeigerbrücke. I'd settle for that, really. But I would like to see more of Switzerland. I would like to see more of the rest of the world, but Switzerland especially, with the Alps. And yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. If you would like to suggest your own stuff, then join my Discord server, link in the description. There is a channel in there called Submit Ideas, and you can post all about your route there. I pick the best one every week that I think, and make a video on it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.